Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So I am over here. Well, I'm just watching the sun go down, but that is neither here nor there. We've only got a little bit of time because we are at golden hour. But I want to talk about this machine right here. This is the M4 MacBook Pro. As the title says, Air no more. Let's talk about the MacBook Pro. That is a little over dramatic. That is just the title because the M4 MacBook Air, that is a phenomenal computer. That is a great computer. And if you choose to get that, I cannot fault you one bit. But I want to talk about the lesser computer because, well, this computer is a little bit older. It came out last year, the end of last year, where the M4 MacBook Air actually had just come out very, very recently. But let's talk about the M4 Pro MacBook Pro, and that is this right here. This is the M4 Pro 16-inch. This is the lowest price 16-inch computer you can actually get currently from Apple that is not refurbished today. So this is the M4 Pro chip. It's got 24 gigs of memory, 512 gigs of solid state storage, and this would be probably the complete opposite of the M4 13-inch MacBook Air. The 13-inch MacBook Air is very, very, let's say, tray table friendly, where, again, this is the opposite of tray table friendly. You could maybe fit on a business class or a first class seat. I can't tell you that because I've never flown business or first class. So if you know, then please leave the comments below if this would fit on a business or first class seat. But yeah, this is it right here, M4 Pro MacBook Pro 16. I think it's a great computer. I actually had this since about a month after it had come out. I know I talked about getting the 13 or the 15-inch, and we've still got our eyes set on one of those. We don't know which one we're actually keeping, but let's talk about this M4 Pro. What does this computer have that the M4 Air does not? So we've got an M4 chip in the M4 Air, and that's got the 10-core CPU, 8-core, or the 10-core GPU compared to the M4 Pro chip right here. And this has got a 14-core CPU, a 20-core GPU, and yeah, this thing is a beast. So obviously more cores, M4 Pro moniker, and it's a very, very more powerful computer. But with it being a more powerful computer, that means it also draws a little bit more power, hence the bigger body in this computer right here. And then the other thing I'm showing you right here, if you take a look at this side, what I'm going to show you are the ports. So the port selection. So with the M4 MacBook Air, that's 13 or 15, does not matter which, you have two Thunderbolt 4 ports and a headphone jack, along with the MagSafe 3 port for charging. So with this computer, you get those same ports, except those Thunderbolt 4 ports are also Thunderbolt 5 ports, and instead of 2 of them, you get 3 of them, in addition to an SD card slot and an HDMI output. So HDMI, SD card slot, both are very, very useful. I do gotta say that SD card slot is super duper awesome because, well, I do gotta say with the 13, and I don't know if you can see this right here, this is just an additional SD card reader right here. That's something I would have to carry around if I only had the 13-inch M4 MacBook Air. But with this, I have got ports galore. So maybe, you know how it is. You could always use more ports, but again, take a look at these ports right here. Beautiful ports, and these ports right here, again, very, very useful ports in the MagSafe and then in the USB-C Thunderbolt 5. But again, that SD card slot, that SD card reader is just super duper nice to have. But another thing to talk about is the display. So with this being the 16-inch MacBook Pro, you do have this beautiful, big, immersive 16-inch display, and it is very, very immersive. And you've actually got the same webcam that comes on both at center stage, 12 megapixel webcam, which is very much so a better webcam this year, especially with the M4 Air. But with this right here, the 16 and the 13 just really does not compare. The 16 would really compare to the M4 MacBook Air 15, The 15 is a very, very similar display to the 16-inch display. So if you compare those two, yes, but other than the display size, you're getting some display benefit technologies from this computer right here. And what do you get with this computer right here? Well, so with the M4 Air, you're getting IPS LCD, so IPS LED LCD display, which is still very, very good, very color accurate, beautiful, vibrant display. But with this, you're actually getting 120 hertz ProMotion mini LED display. So with that mini LED, it only lights up the panels that need to be lit up. Like for the color, if it's black, it will not light up, so you're getting actually a true black. And so the IPS LCD screen on the Airs, it's just a whole backlit panel. So if you get a true, like a black background, like even on the startup where you see the Apple logo, everything else will be black in the background, and then you will just see the Apple logo lit up. But with the Airs, it's very much more apparent. You do have a full backlit background where it's not exactly black, but it's more like a dark gray. So hopefully that kind of helps explain what the difference is between IPS LCD and then the mini LED display. So yeah, that mini LED on here, 120 hertz ProMotion, very, very good. And that 120 hertz ProMotion, it makes the computer seem a little bit more fluid, makes it seem a little bit more faster, even though they both have the same single core speed. So pretty much whatever you throw at it, whether I'm running like Microsoft Office suite of products, Slack, Safari, Chrome, Pixelmator Pro, Final Cut Pro, everything is just absolutely fine on both computers. But where this one really shines, and again, we're going to talk about another difference, is Sony's Catalyst Browse. Well, with this just having more horsepower, but then you have the addition of that fan. So with Sony's Catalyst Browse, this computer, it actually eats up stabilization very, very well. It does it in about 2 minutes quicker when stabilizing a 1 minute and 41 second clip, where it takes over 4 minutes, and then this is just a little over 2 minutes to stabilize that clip. It's just much faster. But with that stabilization, you also hear the fan. You feel the heat, the warmth of the actual chassis heat up, because that fan is trying to dissipate that heat. But you don't hear the fan at all. But again, you are compromising a little bit of that performance because you don't have the fan. But here, you're getting all that performance because of that fan to help dissipate that heat. So again, just one of those other differences other than the physical body difference between the M4 Air and the M4 Pro. One more thing too, with Final Cut, because they do have the same amount of encode, decode with the H.265, all that footage that I'm using here on the Sony a7 IV, scrubbing through the timeline is fluid on both. And then exporting, you're going to be getting about the same times. You'll have to go up to the M4 Max to beat that time because it's got double encode, double decode, and then all the way up to the M3 Ultra to even beat that time. And it's not even like mind-blowing. It is very fast, don't get me wrong, but still, it's still very, very good on here, and it's still very, very good even on the M4 MacBook Air. You're not really compromising at all with that M4 Pro. And this is just doing videos like this. If you're doing like super high quality production, super long timelines, super long clips, then you could definitely benefit from something with a fan. But I do gotta say that is not a factor here. So hopefully you have liked this video, got to see a little bit of the difference between, other than just the physical differences between the M4 Air and the M4 Pro. Both are still great computers. Again, don't let our title deceive you. Air no more. No, Air is totally just fine. If you like the Pro, if you like having that extra fan, it's bigger, it's beefier, but again, it's got a little bit more performance if you need it out of it. And that big immersive 16-inch 120 hertz ProMotion display, it's phenomenal. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. You know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It all really helps out our channel. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.